Good evening. Good evening. For the first time ever, the three boys from the hottest show on television. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, and David Schwimmer! Now listen, the truth can be out now. You actually really, honestly hate each other, don't you?
Well, I'm glad somebody finally said something.
Yeah.
It's been gnawing at us.
Yeah.
It's a little awkward for us to actually be sitting this close to each other in
Really?
real life.
Yeah.
And traveling together.
Oh.
Can we talk about first impressions? The very first time that you all met in the first call. What did you think of each other? Matt, what did you think of the guys?
My first impression of these guys, it was sort of weird, you know, because I wanted to like everyone, but no, I didn't really have a first impression of you guys. To tell you the truth, I mean, I was open-minded to the whole thing. I understand that their first impression of me was a little different, however.
Oh, what was that?
Ooh, good-looking and dumb, you know. But that quickly changed.
Got in there quickly with that one. What about the girls? Did anyone fancy any of the girls, David? David?
Fancy.
Well, when you first
I don't
met
know
those girls.
your vernacular.
Oh, yes, you do. A little bird told me, first time when you first met the girls.
Yeah, I mean, I was, I was method. So, I thought, I was definitely attracted to all of them, and I think, I had a small crush on Jennifer's character. I was in a very serious relationship at the time, and we all kind of knew, we had like a silent agreement that became verbal after a while that really that nothing was going to cross the friendship boundary that the six of us kind of established right from the start. So.
And now that's all out the window.
Now it's just sex. Whoa, let's rehearse. Let's have sex. Let's rehearse.
Oh, we have a good time.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Let's get on to the characters now. Joey. How would you describe Joey?
He's good-looking and dumb, I guess. I think in the beginning, and this comes from the producers as well, he was more of a two-dimensional character. And then we had discussed that if he was as crass as he was and egotistical, I didn't really buy, and I don't think any of us did, his relationship with the women, that they wouldn't really be friends with him. So just sort of opened it up a little more and made him a little more sensitive without changing him too drastically.
But may I say that, bless him, Joey sometimes can be just a little dumb.
Oh, he's a moron.
Have a look. Have a look.
Why do you get to keep the table?
I did pay for half of it.
Yeah. And I paid for the other half.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll play you for it.
All right, you're on. I could take 2 minutes out of my day to kick your ass.
Your little men are going to get scored on more times than the assistant.
Whoa. Which sister?
Oh, but I have to say, Courtney Cox, I read that. Courtney Cox says that Joey could never just be friends. You know, Harry Met Sally time. That he could never just be friends with a girl.
He can. He just always, has that in the back of his head. He hopes that something else would, he'll be friends as long as there's a shred of hope that maybe someday,
So is he a stud, guys?
More so than these two, yeah.
Is it true then? Okay, is it true that he has a nickname? love machine.
Yeah. You know, I gotta say it's the first we've heard of that, and I'm uncomfortable with it. You know, but love machine. Do people actually call you love machine, Manny?
Yeah. I don't know where that came from either.
But you quite like that image.
I'll phone that one in myself.
Oh, no, was you that gave it to him?
No.
A nickname, love machine. Yeah. Well, actually, here in London, Maddie and I were walking around in Soho, and about
Tell them about Soho.
is that a bad thing?
No, it's not. Not at all.
Oh, that's why we're getting all those funny looks. And a bunch of people came up to, well, both of us, but came up to Maddie and just was like, "You're in the show Friends, and you're great on the show." And I was standing about an inch away from him. And he was like, "Well, yeah, Matthew's on it too." And they were all like, "Yeah, great." Joey, that's true.
It's
And
not true.
It's happened to all of us.
The series came to an end last Friday, and we saw you two kiss.
No?
Yeah, that was your kiss. Well,
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Doing the kiss together, was it good for the two of you?
We don't need to do that again. Yeah, it was
Funny.
It was funny. It was fun. Rehearsal was great, you know, because we got to do it again and again and again. No, I mean it was kind of you know.
You're cool about doing that, though. You don't, because you're acting.
David really enjoyed it, I think.
Yeah.
Did he? Can we talk about your kiss as well? Because you've kissed everybody. You've kissed him as well on New Year's Eve, that memorable Chandler kiss.
Well, didn't David Schwimmer, if I remember correctly, do something a little interesting right before you guys kissed?
Yeah, it was very funny because if you watch the tape, because he says to me, he says, "Shut your mouth and close your eyes," or something like that. So there I am sitting like this, and I kind of went like that, and he goes.
Didn't you?
Jeez, no. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, if I did that, and I have no recollection of that, it's
Subconscious.
Okay. It's
Don't deny
because we're very. I mean, even now, you get when you're under the lights and you have a lot of makeup and constantly powdered, you get a lot of dry mouth. And so,
Yeah,
That's a good line. A good line. Now we're gonna
okay, I
shift it.
secretly want Matt LeBlanc. Yeah.
We're gonna shift over to Chandler now. Can we just have a look? A bit of Chandler.
Why isn't she calling me back? Maybe she never got your message.
Now, if you want, you can call her machine, and if she has a lot of beeps, that means she probably didn't get her messages yet.
You don't think that makes me seem a little...
Desperate, needy, pathetic.
Ah, you obviously saw my personal ad.
How many beeps?
She answered.
You see, this is where you use that hello word we talked about.
I'm not going to talk to her. She obviously got my message and is choosing not to call me. Now I'm needy and snubbed. God, I miss just being needy.
Needy and snubbed. Is that how you see Chandler?
That's a great way to describe Chandler. Yeah. And the girl didn't call him back because, did you see the way my hair looked in that? Nobody's going to call him back. Yeah, Chandler is, unlucky in love kind of guy, generally.
Are you similar to Chandler?
Yes, absolutely. I look a lot like him.
Extraordinary, that.
I mean, spitting image, really.
It's surprising.
Yeah, you know what? The Chandler's kind of an exaggerated form. If you lick your lips, man, he's basically an exaggerated form of me, and that's all the characters are slightly exaggerated forms of us.
Would that be your approach though with women as well?
Needy and snub?
Well, no, and also that slightly because Chandler he's always that slightly. Like
Yes, yeah. He's the kind of guy that if he just saw a pretty woman would just be intimidated forever and like walk across the street in an effort to avoid her and then destroy himself that he didn't talk to her and that kind of thing. And I'm the kind of guy that will do that for like 2 hours. But Chandler will do that for 2 weeks.
You've always been like that.
Sure.
Aww.
Come here.
Then on to Ross, if we may now.
Okay, come on.
He's also, he used to. I'm not being funny, but why not? Ross used to have a little bit of a problem with communicating with women. Let's have a
No.
look. Let's have a look.
Telling her, Ross, she wants you.
She barely knows me. We just live in the same building.
Any contact?
She let me an egg once.
You're in.
Ah, right.
Hey, Ross.
Hey!
There's this strange feeling that there's always these secret giggles behind what actually sort of happened there. But is that similar to you as well?
I don't think so. I don't think very much.
David's much more secure of himself than Ross is.
So you just go marching
quiet.
up to the girl?
No. Yeah, I'm so secure that I need someone to speak for me. No, I think I'm a little different. I think I'm a little more aggressive, a little more secure.
What, aggressive with women?
I mean, aggressive in everything. Well, I mean, if there's something that, or someone I want, then I will pursue aggressively, rather than...
What sort of way? What sort of way?
It depends on the situation.
Okay, there's a girl you like and you're pursuing her.
I would either write a note, or I would go up to her, or I would try
Oh,
to get...
that's okay.
You know, oh yeah.
I'll put a note in a bottle and throw it into the ocean and hope that someday she might find it.
Depends on the situation. Yeah, or ask someone to make an introduction for me, or, you know what I mean, just...
I'm going to speak for you.
Yeah.
No, David is really great about that. David, if if we're out and he sees an attractive person, we'll just walk right up and start talking to her, and, I'll be just weeping in the corner. But he's very confident.
Going, what?
But yes, he's absolutely like that.
And in the show, the two of you go to you for advice.
All right, now you say something.
I really don't think so.
Come on. You like this woman, right?
Well, yeah.
You want to see her again, right?
Sure.
Well, if you can't talk dirty to me, how are you going to talk dirty to her? Now tell me you want to caress my butt.
Okay, turn around. I just don't want you staring at me when I'm doing this.
All right. I'm not... Well, go ahead.
Okay. I want to feel your hot, soft skin with my lips.
There you go. Keep going.
I want to take my tongue and... and...
Say it. Say it.
run it all over your body until you're trembling with
How did you not laugh? Because you were all sitting there killing yourself laughing against it. How did you not laugh?
brutal. That was so hard. In rehearsal, we couldn't get through it. It wasn't until we actually had the audience that we had to do it straight that we could do it.
Kept licking his lips in rehearsal.
I'm sorry, David, that's a runner this evening.
No, in real life, do you go to the girls for advice? Would you go to girls for advice? Matthew?
Why?
Girls give good advice.
And Joey. Yes, we do that. We're kind of it's a funny dynamic at work because we go down and we rehearse and we, talk about life and what our relationships are with other people and all that stuff. And then when other people are doing other scenes, we go upstairs and the six of us basically do a less funny version of it upstairs,
So it does mirror.
Yes, because, Courtney's great to talk to about relationships, and if I've gone on a date with somebody and she said something that I needed advice on or something. I don't know an example. I know you're going to ask me.
No, I'm not.
She's just really smart about that kind of thing. So I talked to her about that stuff, and Jennifer and
Very level-headed, Courtney.
yeah.
Okay,
There's a
now,
lot of different things.
well, at the end of the day, guys and girls do look at things in different ways. Let's hear about the kiss. Was it like a soft brush against your lips, or was it like a, I gotta have you now kind of thing?
Well, at first it was really intense, and then, oh, God, and then we just sort of sunk into it.
Oh, so, okay, was he holding you, or was his hands, like, on your back?
No, actually, first they started out on my waist, and then they slid up, and then they were in my hair.
Oh.
And then I kissed her.
Tom?
Yeah.
Cool.
That is so true.
That would be the definitive difference between men and women.
Now, how about teasing? So how do you do you all tease each other all the time? Have you got nicknames for each other, apart from Love Machine, which we know about now, which is your nickname for yourself? But do you have nicknames? Do you have nicknames for each other? Yes, you do. I know you do. Come on.
Well, yeah, this is just a group of people not knowing whether to share the nicknames.
Go for it. Please share.
Well, David, you can tell what you call Maddie.
We want to know the nicknames, don't we? Yeah. Exactly.
We can't.
Oh, you can.
David affectionately calls me Slam Hole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which I still don't quite understand.
I don't know. It sounds relatively disgusting, but
Any others? If we move swiftly on from that one.
Matt,
Don't you have any?
don't you have one?
Go on.
I think when he calls me that, I call him, affectionately return the...
You're not going to do it, are you?
No.
I've called you nutsack.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't believe I said it.
It's out there.
We're like silly brothers and sisters when we're all together. We call each other really rude, vulgar names, and it's all affectionate and.
But do you not get teased for other things on set? I mean, there's certain things you tease
There's a
each
lot
other
of
for.
like teasing and stuff, because basically our job is the six of us sit around all day long and try and figure out what's the funniest thing to do.
And how to keep having fun together and come up with new funny stuff and
keep it fresh.
And to keep the energy going. And some of our shooting days are 18 hours long, and we got to keep making jokes and keep each other entertained, because it takes a lot of energy. So we keep.
What's it about him walking into everything? And is that you?
Well, he's a klutz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah. He falls down things.
Falls down.
Yeah.
He's like the best driver of all of us. He races motorbike. I mean, he's very good, but sometimes he stumbles.
What about David? What did you tease David about?
Well, David.
Oh, there you know. He knows what you're going to say.
Yeah. Do you want to just say it?
My throat.
We tease him about his throat.
His
I
throat?
clear my throat.
Yeah.
I mean, so I guess, yeah. I'm the only, can I say? I'm the only non-smoker in the group. So sometimes I get dry throat, and because everyone's smoking sometimes, or I just get, the stage is really kept really cold and dry, so I do that a lot, and they all tease me about it. I go,
well, he's making it sound like... Okay, but don't feel sorry for the man. It's every single solitary 5 seconds. The man, he clears his throat more than Richard Nixon ever cleared his throat.
And it's not, and when he does it on the show, it's not a character choice.
not a choice.
But you've managed to make it an art form. You make it like, it's very, very funny.
Just do it for us. Just do it.
Clear my
Just clear, go on.
throat.
Thank you. To share it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please join us in part 2 when we have some embarrassing photos.
Hello.
Welcome back to the show. I have to tell you, you cleared your throat for us all.
Yes.
Thank you before we came back.
Sure.
Matthew, Was it inevitable that you were going to go into show business? I mean, your father was an actor and your mother was a newsreader. Was that from a young age, I want to be in show business?
Well, from a really young age, I wanted to be a tennis player. That's what I did constantly as a kid, was I just played tennis. And I was like a nationally ranked tennis player in Canada where I grew up, and so that's what I wanted to do.
What
and
rank were you? What number?
I was ranked 17th, I think, in the country for my age group, and
Wow.
my doubles team was 3rd.
That's good.
And then I moved down to Los Angeles and got brutally destroyed by everybody. Just killed. And so I learned at the age of about 15 that that wasn't what I was going to do, because I just got destroyed by every Los Angeles tennis player. So then I decided to go into, I auditioned for a school play, for a high school play called, Our Town, famous play.
Yeah.
And I got the part of George Gibbs in Our Town, and I had such a great time, and I realized it was the only thing in school that I really liked working hard at, so maybe I can make a living at it. So that's how
So at school you started acting,
Yeah.
and we do have your yearbook picture, in
Yeah.
fact.
You want to
Look.
talk
Matthew, you know we mentioned hair before. The hair looks so good now. It looks so good
thanks.
now.
Can you show that again just for a second? That's, you place a bowl right on top of the head, and you just cut around. And that's what my hairstyle was forever, because I used to hate getting haircuts, and that's why I would spend a lot of high school alone.
That's why you went onto the
Can
stage.
you imagine that haircut coming up? You want to go out with me? Just hordes of people. Start the car! Get away! No. That was, that's a funny looking hairstyle.
Well, I have to say, we did manage to get hold of another picture as well. You say you performed at school. We managed to get hold of a picture of you in a show. There you are. And if you're not sure which one is Matthew, we have the close-up of Matthew. There. What show is that one?
That's The Miracle Worker, is what that is. That's the story of how Jennifer Aniston drives. I played Helen Keller's brother in that. That was in 9th grade.
You can tell you're beginning to look like you now.
I guess
in that
so,
picture.
yeah.
Now, David, you also debuted at school, didn't you, in acting?
Yeah, I started in high school, and I got bit by the bug, I guess, in high school. I was also really into baseball, and I was playing that, and then I guess I ultimately had to choose between going to practice, going to practice, or going to rehearsal for the plays. Are you going to say something? It's about to slam me. I know.
No.
And I guess I eventually chose to rehearse because there were more girls there, I guess, and I don't know why. I guess I enjoyed it more ultimately.
We actually, I have to say as well, we have your yearbook picture of you from school. So that was you with the
That picture
girl.
was taken, obviously, during a nuclear holocaust.
And you know that we had a photograph of Matthew in performance. Well, we don't actually have a photograph of you performing, but we have a film of you performing at school. Can we see the
I hope
film?
not. That right there is why I don't do musical comedy.
Matt, did you start acting at school? Did you act at school?
No. I got into acting much later. I went to a technical vocational high school, where you learned a trade. My trade was carpentry. You know, you spent the morning up until lunch with your vocation, and then after that were your academics.
So were there no drama classes or acting classes?
There were, but I come from a very blue-collar community, and those people were always sort of regarded as like sissies, and like all the guys I hung up with would like beat up the guys you hung around with. If I could go,
Didn't run into each other.
if I could go back and do it again, given what I've chosen to do with my life, I would have done it completely different. And who cares what those kids think? I mean, I think that it's such a great way to express yourself versus banging nails.
So we also have your yearbook picture here, and the hair.
Okay, that's an interesting story behind that one. I went.
So funny if your yearbook picture was you just beating the crap out of an actor.
Yeah, the summer between junior and senior year in high school, I went to spend the summer with my father in Florida, and he had curly hair, and I said, "What happened to your head?" And he says, "Oh yeah, I got a perm, and you're gonna get one, and you're gonna get one." I said, "No, I'm not." He said, "No, you are. It's the cool thing." And I was like, "Really?" "Oh yeah." So he talked me into an hour and a half with rollers in my hair. And I went back to school thinking, "Hey, I got my stuff together," and everyone was just like,
I love the picture of you in rollers. Somehow.
Yeah, no photos of that, sorry.
Oh, what a shame. But we do have another photo of you. We managed to get hold of a baby picture of you. Nobody else can look. Aww.
See, that's why I was better with the women.
What was your childhood like?
I grew up just my mom and I, very sort of low-income housing kind of thing, and we just, I was an only child, so I was, just always sort of pampered, but not financially, just with a lot of attention and that kind of thing. I was a happy kid, I guess.
So you're still very close to your mum now?
Yeah. My mom is probably my best friend.
How does she feel about all of this? She must be so proud of you.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming for her. She had, when my mother had to, like, move and change her phone number because the press was, haunting her and stuff like that. So that was a little weird for her. But she's, real proud, and of course, I mean, as their parents are.
Mm. Can we move on to how you actually then got your break into acting?
I had just gotten fed up with doing construction and, working outside in the cold, framing houses, and someone had said I should go to New York to get into modeling. So I said, okay, anything to not have to bang nails in the snow. So I went to New York to visit a friend, and on my way to her apartment, I ran into this girl walking down the street, and she was really cute and everything. We started talking. She told me she was on her way to an audition and would I like to go. So I said, okay, and thinking, who cares about this? I wasn't thinking that, I can maybe get into acting. I wanted to...
Oh, something else, yes.
So I followed her there, and that was pretty uneventful. And then she said she had to go to her manager's office, would I like to tag along to that? And I said, great, yeah, can't wait till it's all over with, and we can go have dinner or something. And when I went to meet her manager said, you could make a living doing commercials. I said, oh yeah? What do you mean by that? And she said, you can make a lot of money doing television commercials. I said, great, where do I sign? How do I sign up for that?
This is something that I'm sure everybody will remember, but they won't put two and two together that it's actually you. Have a look at this first commercial.
Hot dog, please.
More mustard on that.
No, thanks. I got it covered.
Heinz tomato ketchup. The best things come to those who wait.
It's one of those weird things that everyone's watching. Oh, that one!
Yeah. It was really fortunate for me to have started in commercials given my financial situation, because I just got lucky and landed a couple of great ads. Like that ad played for 4 years.
4 years.
So, you get residuals that sort of roll in every month or so, and I financed my tuition to study acting for 2 years in New York. And
How you
all I
got
have to
in
say
there.
about that.
That's how you got in there. Now, with you, David, you went off to university, and you also came over here to study, didn't you, in Oxford?
Mm-hmm.
What was it you were studying there?
I was studying theater. God, excuse me. I was studying Chekhov and Shakespeare, Ibsen, Shaw, and the emphasis was on Shakespeare, and studied at Oxford for about 3 months through a program called the British American Drama Academy.
Guess what?
No.
We have a picture of you there as well.
Come
Yes.
on.
Look, and now I'm a bit worried that nobody's going to realise which one you are, David. So could we
No, I
just
don't
do a
think
little
so.
circle, Barry?
Look at that hair.
It was windy.
Yeah.
And then the next time you came over here was to Edinburgh, where you did an adult version of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, basically it wasn't like a raunchy version. It was just,
Oh.
it wasn't for children necessarily. It was an adaptation by Andre Gregory and his group in New York, the Manhattan Project, and I had directed it at school and then brought it over to the Edinburgh Festival in Scotland, where it ran for a couple of weeks, and then backpacked to Italy and stuff. So it was a fun.
So happy memories of your time in Edinburgh.
Oh, it was
Wild
beautiful.
time?
Yeah, it was definitely. The thing about Edinburgh that I didn't know, and maybe it's the same here, is that people love to headbutt you.
We got some people from Edinburgh in the audience, actually.
This happened to a buddy of mine. You know, we're at a club and we're just having fun, you know, dancing with girls, and all of a sudden some guy just goes, "Dong," and just breaks his nose, and we're like, what was that about? You know, so that was fun. But it's a skill now that I've acquired.
You've acquired that, you know how to...
Yeah, I got a knot here, you know, that feel.
Now how did you make your break? Because you also, it's also a bizarre story, same as Matt.
Well, it's so, it's awful to follow that story. Edinburgh, and I wanted
but
to be
it's
on
great 'cause
TV.
We have 3 different ones.
I wanted to be on a show.
And that's his story.
That's the story, yeah.
That's pretty much me in a nutshell.
No, but there's also a strange story how you got picked up as well.
No, yes, the first job that I got, I was in a restaurant on Ventura Boulevard in the Valley in California with a couple of people. I was skipping school. So let that be a lesson to all the children here.
They're all going to be skipping.
And I got a note on a napkin from a director who said, I'm doing this movie in 2 months in Chicago, and I'd really like to have you be in the movie. I was like, okay. A little skeptical. I figured this movie's going to be shot in the back of this guy's van. So this is not a... But I followed it up anyway. And I ended up... I ended up in this movie, in this my first job, and I was in Chicago for 3 months when I was 17 doing this movie that I liked, and that was basically my first in, and then after that I got an agent and I followed up. And
Was that the first movie? Was that the one with River Phoenix?
yes, Night in the Life of Jimmy Reardon.
In fact, it's lucky it was that one, because guess what?
It was called, originally it was called River Phoenix and Fathead. That was the original working title.
I mean, is it also true that you had written, we'll come back to the show now, but you've written something similar to Friends before you ever did the audition?
Yes. Well, what I did, I followed up that movie with a string of pretty bad television shows for the next couple of years. I was doing just these shows that weren't that funny and weren't that good, and as a result weren't that successful. So I kind of thought to myself, you know what, I think I could write a better show than the shows that I've been on. So I met this buddy of mine, this guy Andrew Hill Newman, across the poker table, and he was a writer as well, and we just set off to write this show. And we sold it to this studio, Universal Studios, and I was writer guy. I was in an office, and I was, making changes and doing all these things for this script. And we went to the networks with it, and we went to CBS, we went to ABC, and then we went to NBC, where we had the most interest, where they really wanted to make it, except they said, and this is about this is the end of '93, and they said, and the show was called Maxwell's House. And they said, the reason we can't, see what we did there, Maxwell's House? Boy, we thought that was a great idea. And they said, well, the reason we can't do this show, we can't buy the shows, we have another show similar to it in development. And I said, well, how could you? And they said, well, it's a show about a bunch of people in their 20s who hang out. I was like, well, that show's going to suck. You should get on it. And it turned out that the show that was Friends. And so in an effort to make money, I did this really bad pilot because there was nothing left out there. And I did this pilot that was about baggage handlers. It gets so much worse. This pilot was about baggage handlers in the year 2194. So it was me, wearing like this futuristic shirt and this like so stupid thing, surrounded by a bunch of midgets wearing wigs who were aliens, and I was like just like sorting out the aliens' luggage. Was basically the show.
This is really,
Oh,
really?
that's really true. That they wanted to sell that, and they hired me to be the lead guy in it. David Schwimmer's crying at my life. You didn't know that? So I did that show, which, and this is about like 2 weeks before I did Friends. Like that's, I mean, there's not much separation. Then this script came around and everybody was auditioning for it, and my buddies were saying, wow, this script is so great, and I was off the market because of the baggage handler show. So a bunch of buddies of mine were coming up to me and saying, wow, there's this part in this show that's you. It's really like you. And I was like, I know. And they were like, can you help me audition for it? And I was like, sure. And I would like, you know, say, it might be funnier if you if you said, you know, could this be any stupider? Do that in the reading. And they ultimately didn't get the job, and then the producers ultimately saw the pilot that I had done and said, you know what, I don't think this is going to get picked up. I think he might be available. And then that happened on a Wednesday, so then I read for Marta Kaufman, the producer, on Wednesday, and then I read for Warner Brothers, the studio, on Thursday, and then I read for the network on Friday, and then I started work on Monday.
Wow.
It was that quick.
Good story.
Thank you.
We're going to go to another break. Do not go away, because there is more. There's more from these three guys. Welcome back to the show. Armed with Mike, I'm off. Oh, hold on, just check my bottom. Sorry. Okay, now I'm coming over here because we've got quite an extraordinary tale.
Yeah, all right.
Now, is it true that the two of you have never met before this night?
Yes.
Tell me the story.
Well, the two of us are both on the Friends mailing list on the internet, and we met on that. There's a bunch of us all here tonight, and we decided to meet to come see the show.
So this is the first time that you two could touch?
Yeah.
Oh, touch! It's a great way to meet on the internet. Okay, and you've got questions for us, for the guys?
Mark does.
Mark. Oh, lean in, Mark. Over here. Get closer.
After checking out London, what do you think of British women?
And careful what you say, boys.
I think very highly of them.
Boy, I'm pleased you answered like that. Okay, now, down here. Now, this man says he knows absolutely everything about Friends, okay? Don't you, David? You wrote to us and you said that you were Friends anorak. May I use that word, Dave?
Yeah, I have two, so...
Okay.
One green, one blue, so... You know.
Okay, Dave, okay. And you say that you know everything there is to know about Friends.
Right now, I can't even remember what the show is.
Oh, no! Oh, don't! I'm here. Right, so we're going to put you to the test if we may with the boys.
Well,
No, they're going to ask you.
Ah.
Yes. Okay, guys.
In the episode where Ross kissed Chandler's mother, remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
Well, that's
remember
not a
that
good sign if you don't remember.
Yeah, that's right. There's so many kisses that I can never remember which one.
one? Right, it's a great job. Ross comes to tell Joey about it, and Joey says, oh yeah, that's okay, that's no problem. In what world?
Bizarro.
Ah.
Right? See?
That's an easy one.
He says that was an easy one. Have you got another
Well,
one?
I made a channel on the internet called Bizarro World after that quote. So.
Glad I picked that one.
Hey! Go on then, guys, another one.
At one point, Chandler says, it was played by me.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's me. At one point... Yeah, oh yeah. At one point, Chandler says, God, I wish I was a lesbian. And what does he say right after that?
Did I say that out loud?
Very nice.
Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you. Okay, now we're just going to throw it open to the floor. Is that all right with you?
Well, David has a question.
Oh, boy.
Oh, do you want to do your question?
No, I'm sure he's going to nail it as well. But
I have a feeling that he won't. Do you want me to ask him?
Well,
Go on.
actually,
Come on then.
okay.
Really,
Come
really
here.
fun one.
well,
David,
that
go
was,
for it.
I don't know if this
Go
is...
on, David.
Okay, did the one with the poker air yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what was Ross's hand?
You never see his hand.
Right. What must what must the hand have been in order to have beat Rachel?
Well, she had a full house, and Chandler says it's a tough hand to beat, but I don't play poker, so I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know.
Well, fair
But
enough.
I know
Well,
he says that. It has to be a full house, yeah.
It has to beat a full house. Great.
I think he wins that.
He wins. You did good. Okay. Any questions from the audience?
I want to ask David, were you as unhappy as Ross when the monkey left?
No. No, I wasn't. I was relieved, honestly, because it was it was a lot harder to work with the monkey than with real actors, because
I would hope so.
it was a pain. I mean, because you know, if the monkey doesn't know it's on a TV show. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't know what it's. All it knows is if it does that correctly, if it moves from there to there and grabs something, it gets a worm to eat. And
lovely.
a live worm. You know, and basically, if we're rolling and we have to do take after take after take after take until the monkey gets his performance right. And it doesn't matter how good you are, because they're going to use the take that the monkey got right. And it's a little
you're pleased to say
insulting,
bye-bye Marcel. Okay, next question.
Going back to Gaby's question about your relationships with the women in the show, there was a lot of rumour and speculation about Matthew Perry's relationship with Julia Roberts. Could you expand on that?
Get out. Yes, we saw each other for a time, but basically,
He didn't mean it, honestly.
no,
He said that.
I did not mean it. I did not mean it. Get out. No, basically that had to end because we were just so busy. It's like the busiest guy in the world trying to go out with the busiest girl in the world, and it just didn't work. But we're friends and we get along really
So it was
well.
all for real then? You were dating each other?
It was for real, very for real.
It was, I think basically it was something, two people that went out and then stopped going out, and because of who they are, it was all over the place and all the rumors that flew around. But
Right.
Makes relationships even harder.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the trouble, because you know, it gets in the press and it gets in everybody's minds that you're a couple before you're a couple, you know, so it's a strange thing. But yes, we went on some dates, it didn't work out, and then we stopped.
And that mouth, Matthew.
Thanks.
Yeah. Right, who's next? Right, the young lady over there.
I'd like to know, what lengths have fans gone to get your attention?
Lengths the fans have gone to.
Yeah, one couple. We were together having lunch. Actually, we were eating outside together at a table, and there was like a railing next to me. We were in the middle of a discussion, trying to eat our meal, and some guy literally taps me, and I turn around, and he hands me a baby, his infant, and I said.
A baby?
Luckily,
A live baby?
instinctually, I'd put my fork down. Because I'm suddenly holding a baby, and he said, I just have to get a picture of you and my baby. You know, I'm just like, be crazier. I mean, so yeah, that was probably one of the strangest things.
Good answer. Back to the three of you guys, if I come and join you again. Do you think your friendships can outlast Friends, the show? Your friendships in real life, the six of you?
at this point, I think, yeah. You know, we're all so close now that, yeah, I think.
No matter what, you'll still be friends afterwards. How long do you
Well, I
think
hope so. I don't want to speak for you guys.
We should probably go on to the next question.
He's so fast. It's scary. Relationships on the show. Ross and Rachel. It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride in the past, hasn't it?
Rach, you know what? I think I know what'll make you feel better. How about you make a list about me?
What? Forget it, Ross. No, I'm not going to stand here and make a list of... Okay, you're whiny. You are obsessive. You are insecure. You're gutless. You know, you don't just sort of seize the day. You know, you liked me for, what, a year, and you didn't do anything about it. And, oh, you wear too much of that gel in your hair.
See, there you all right, you did what I said.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I do feel better. Thank you, Ross.
Everything seems wonderful at the moment, at the end of last series, as I said, it was last week. What's the future for Ross and Rachel? Can you give me any clues, any tips, then what's going to happen?
Well, I could say what I think should happen, kind of as an outside observer, is that I think they should eventually kind of find problems within the relationship that's kind of like a fantasy relationship right now. It's kind of like, this is the girl he's wanted for years, and it's not very realistic, and I think they should get together, have like that really intense, high of the first month or two, and then problems start happening.
And she's stuck with Joey.
Right. So I think they should break up. They should
don't blow that off.
I think they should break up for a time, and then hopefully we'll get married in the future. So.
Oh!
I'm just saying, I mean, that would be cool.
Before you go, could we talk about the other big, deep relationship on the show?
We're about the baby. We left the baby on the bus. Is he here? Is he here?
He's here.
Oh.
I'm assuming one of you is the father.
I'm him. Actually, we're both the father.
Heavy relationship time. Where's that relationship going then, boys?
Anytime you see two guys that are friends on a television show, generally the stereotypical thing is that it's always this, macho. Anytime there's a sensitive moment between them, it's this, and they start talking about football or something. And the thing that I like about the Joey Chandler relationship is that it really walks a fine line. It's two guys that are close enough that they can really talk about how they feel about things with one another. And I think that's a good thing. I mean, we're not in bed together.
No, that's fine.
But next season, you never know. Glad I went that way.
Thank you so much, guys. So it's good night now to Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, and David Schwimmer.
No.
I was a little bit uncomfortable with the way she was looking at me.
Yeah. Well, did you? I got to know.
Because you were you were out of line. Because we had a thing.
Well, that's because you were sitting right next to her. I was sitting way over there, and during commercial break, she asked me
made up the seating arrangement. What I tell you?
I know, it's true, but she has a thing for me. And it makes me uncomfortable because she's supposed to be a professional, and that's why she made up all these trailers. She was like, we need you to stay after for trailers. It was a very lovely show, and it was a pleasure being a part of it.
Have any of you ever almost? You thirsty?
You bet I am.
I feel like I need to have one last fling,
My foot is stuck in the pocket.
Come on, we're friends! Find them working on those relationships in the new series of Friends, starting the 4th of July on 4.